right? The most cynical hardcore track fan. I hope they come out of this being like, this was actually the best track meet I've ever been to. And then obviously everyone who's running, you know, it was the same way. I think we win. So we'll see. All right, I want all the feedback though.
Okay, I got
Good
you.
And bad and ugly, please.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Likewise.
Alexis, how was the process to get the broadcasting part come together?
Okay, it wasn't too bad. Now, we only had to get a broadcast partner for one event, so who knows next year. But the good news was I spent a lot of time reading the comments, obviously Reddit guy, so I know how the track community feels about access. It's a global sport, lots of people want to watch it. We should make it as easy as possible to see it. So that factored into it. So when we were thinking about who's ultimately going to be a partner, the good news was we told everyone straight up, make your best offer, but at the end of the day, like, we want access. And we got folks to compromise. So we got the ESPNs of the world to also say, yeah, okay, YouTube, like, if you have an internet connection and you're basically anywhere in the world, you can watch Athlos. And then you pile on with X and DAZN. Like, no one has an excuse to not be able to watch Athlos. And thankfully, folks were pretty amenable to it. But they were all betting on a thing that no one had really seen before. So we could show them sketches and photos, and yeah, we got Meg Thee Stallion, and yeah, we got these amazing women, but like, I think when people see this in person, when people see the conversation online, hopefully that makes the conversation with these broadcast partners for next year even more, let's say, interesting.
Is it next year? Is there a next year?
We're absolutely doing this again next year. Yeah, no, the bare minimum is that this is one of the most exciting sporting events in New York sports. And I wanted to capture like the US Open night match energy. I wanted to capture, if we can get a little bit of the New York like Knicks or Liberty playoff match energy, and maybe throw in a little bit of music festival energy, right? We have such a dynamic city, and I'm from Fort Greene, so I'm biased. But if you can pull off an event here in New York that New Yorkers say is one of the best events they've been to in sports and culture, you're doing something right. It's a high bar, but these ladies are the best. They're the fastest in the world. And, you know, people show up and show out for people in cars and people riding horses going fast. I'm talking about humans. You know, no accessories required. And I think we're onto something.
There have been efforts to make track popular in the United States outside of the Olympic year. And, you know, this isn't the first one to try that. Why do you think this venture will be successful where those others have failed?
Well, I'm going to go back to the why that we built this on was rooted in like what the very best athletes said they wanted. And I'll tell you the big difference I heard in those conversations was they all acknowledged, they were like, look, you're an outsider. I've clearly never run track before in my life. Yes, had success obviously with Angel City and building in women's sports and obviously tech with Reddit. But I think what they appreciated was the fact that our #1 priority was making something that the athletes would say was the best meet of their lives. And that meant asking them questions, taking their feedback. This is 101 if you're building a $1 billion company from zero. You talk to your customers, you talk to your power users, you talk to your best users. Those are the athletes themselves. And so my hunch is, again, based on what they've said, previous efforts either over-promised and under-delivered, which we don't want to do, but also didn't take the time to actually address what they wanted. And it, you know, I don't want to trivialize it. I think some good efforts were made. What's up? I think some good efforts were made over the years, but I think being an outsider was an advantage starting Angel City. I think being an outsider is going to be an advantage starting Athlos.
How do you get more women into leadership roles in sport?
Put them there. I mean, you all interviewed Kayla yet?
Yeah.
So Kayla Green's the woman who's actually running this thing, and so make sure you're talking to her. She's busy actually running this thing, but all credit to her. She was also the woman behind all the magic of Angel City when we launched. We've been working together ever since. So what's the answer? You hire them, you put them in roles, and you give them, you know, ownership, you give them autonomy, and just do your best to support. But it starts there. But again, it's never about charity or altruism. It is capitalism. We want to do that because we want to win, and so far so good. But everyone be loud, and then we'll make sure